What's up, everybody? This is Kyle for Draftradio, coming to bring you Dragons of Tarkir. It is not up that much on YouTube yet. I've only seen one or two videos, so I figured I would jump in real quick and strike while the iron is hot. And man, do we have a great pack for the striking. We have an archetypes exemplars. Super cool. Awesome card. Does a lot of the good stuff. Dodges removal. Taps their guys. Lifelink at first strike. Mad love for it. I went to a pre-release for this set, and I had a blast. I played Kolgon, and you could not have paid me to play anybody else. It was so much fun. Tons of fun. Alright, so this pack is a little lackluster after cracking a sweet rare like the archetypes exemplars, but that's perfectly fine. We have an Airy Bowmaster. We also have an Epic Confrontation. I think I'm going to take Confrontation as it is the most reliable removal spell. There's a Ruthless Deathfang, which is a great card, and I really like Exploit. I particularly like Gurmag Drowner. Having a Forbidden Alchemy attached to a Pillar Field Ox is not bad. A Target of Freed is awesome, too. The ping effect is actually a lot more relevant than you'd think. But I'm going to take Epic Confrontation. Makes me feel epic, so that's what we're grabbing. Let's see, there's a Graceblade Artisan, which goes nicely. There is a Dramaka Dunecaster, which seems craptastic. There's also Collected Company, which would be not terrible, I guess. Convert a mana cost 3 or less onto the battlefield at instant speed? Huh, I mean, like, there's really not much else in this pack. I'll take Collected Company. I'll see if it's worth running. That's not the worst thing that I've ever heard. Alright, there's a Sarkhan's Rage. I think I'm going to take Sarkhan's Rage here. White does not seem that great. I mean, Aven Tactician is certainly fine, it looks like. And Artful Maneuver is actually something I like a lot. There's also a Colossadon Yearling, which I think is hilarious, but I'm going to take Sarkhan's Rage. Removal is removal, and, you know, we're playing draft, so. Sunbringer's Touch, Balcer X, where X is... I'm still getting used to this format, so you'll have to forgive me. But I don't think Sunbringer's Touch is where I really want to be, whereas Sabretooth Outrider actually seems awesome. Yeah, I'll take the Outrider. It goes well with Sarkhan's Rage, too. There's also an Atarka Efreet, so I'm going to grab Atarka Efreet. Again, great card. Butcher's Glee is another awesome card. It's a little easier to read around than Coat with Venom, but Butcher's Glee is definitely great. By the way, Coat with Venom is the 1 mana +1/+2 and Death Touch instant. There's also a Stormcrag Elemental, but ooh, Stormcrag Elemental, Megamorph versus... Nah, I'm going to take Atarka Efreet. I think Atarka Efreet is better. Impact Tremors... I guess I could take Surge of Righteousness in case I do wind up going white. There's a Herd Chaser Dragon, which is fine. It's a bit slow. Gleam of Authority. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on creatures you control. Enchanted creature has Vigilance and Bolster 1. Yeah, I guess I can make that work. I can try it. I mean, my main motto here at Draft Radio is I'll try anything once, so I'll put the sideboard card away real quick. There's also a Sandstep Scavenger, which doesn't seem awful. Keeper of the Lens is terrible. I'm going to take the Scavenger. I don't even know if he's actually that great or not, but Scale Blessing is crappy. I guess I can take Segmented Crotic as a morph card. Alright, so after an insane open, we have a little bit of a lackluster. All of those packs seemed pretty weak to me, though. Naya is not where I want to be, but that's okay. Contradict is fine. Dance of the Skywise is okay. I'm just going to take Revealing Wind. I guess that's playable. Dragonloft Idol's not terrible. I mean, you don't want to play it, but it's playable, I should say. 4 mana 3/3 is always good, and the potential upside is nice, too. I mean, like, if you really need a Hill Giant that's not that hard to cast on your mana, not cost on your mana, jeez. But it's there. It's a relevant creature, and it's certainly something I appreciate. I don't really know what we're going to do yet, in all honesty. We got some really good red cards randomly out of the blue. Our green is not that great right now. I mean, like, Sandstep Scavengers is not that awesome, and then, like, Collected Company is only good in a certain deck. I'll take Glint. I don't need it, but I'll take it. And Foul Tongue Shriek is literally unplayable. Don't play it. Not worth your time. But we'll see what this pack brings. Maybe it'll bring us some good red cards, or good white cards, or a white-blue card. Ouijatai's command is definitely awesome. It would have been nice to get a little direction in this, but we didn't. That's not the end of the world, certainly, but I don't really want to take a multicolor card right now. Lightwalker seems fine, especially with our Gleam of Authority. So I'm going to take the Lightwalker. Maybe that's a mispick. I mean, Ukut Cobra is insanely strong, as is Vulturous Aven. Exploit's a phenomenal mechanic, by the way, folks. Like, Exploit's really, really good. Generally, even if you don't have a guy to sacrifice to it, the creature generally tends to be better than the sum of its parts. So, like, having the option to choose between just a 2/3 flyer and, like, just a more expensive version of Sign in Blood is actually pretty good. Thunderbreak Regent is insane, and I have no idea what it's doing in this pack, so we're taking Thunderbreak Regent, and it looks like we're going to be in white-red. To which Champion of Erishin actually seems really good. Lightning Berserker is not that great. Dragon Lord Servant is not that great. Oh, there's a pacifism. Darn it. Oh, no. No, Kyle, you tunneled. You jerk. You little dingus. Oh, well. So we passed to pacifism. Someone will be happy about that. Kindled Fury, Dragon Lord Servant. I guess we could just take Dragon Lord Servant and maybe just try and go all in on this dragon thing. It doesn't seem super great. Like the next best card in here is like what, Vulturous Aven or Dragon's Guard Bear, and like Silmgar Butcher. Yeah, like black is so open right now. All right, well, I'll take the black card and we'll see what happens. Herald of Dromaka is pretty good. Nice little 2-drop. Also a student of Ouijatai. Guardian Shield Bearer seems bad. Doesn't seem terrible, but we're not in that. I'm going to go ahead and just take Herald of Dromaka and try and stay on 2 colors. I think that's just going to be our new plan. I'm going to take another Sarkhan's Rage, get our removal count up. I do like removal. I like it a lot, Sam I am. There's a Dromaka Warrior, which I certainly wouldn't mind, but there's also a Silk Wrap, which shuts down their early guys. There's also a Center Soul, which I think actually Center Soul is probably going to be my pick. Center Soul is awesome. It works really well with our Ouijatai Exemplars. And look at this. We got a Dromaka Warrior anyway. So, good stuff there. I'm going to hate draft the Silmgar Butcher. Silmgar Butcher was another card I was very impressed with at the pre-release. There's a Kindled Fury and a Rending Volley, which is certainly a good sideboard card. I'm just going to take the combat trick that works very well with my Prowess guy. I think that's fair. It also works very well with our Champion of Erishin that I accidentally took over a Pacifism. It's alright. Beggars can't be choosers. At least we have some direction. And I will take some direction. Fate Forgotten. Seems not that great. I'm actually going to take Ancestral Statue. It's not that great of a card. I'll be completely honest. But if we can get like multiple Sandstep Outcasts or Erishin Clerics, this actually becomes pretty decent. As it lets us bounce our guys. There is an Enduring Scale Lord if I really want to splash for that, and a Guardian of the Trove if I need it. So far, so good, I think. We're not in an ideal place, certainly, but we're in a place. That place has cards. We do have 1-2 removal spells, a Thunderbreak Regent. Yeah, it's not awesome. We're not like in an amazing spot, but you know what? We're in a spot, and we're playing this draft, and that's what's awesome about this. And there's an Alesha who smiles at death. Absolutely. There's an Erishin Cleric that we wanted, and a Bathan Dragonfire, which is probably not going to wheel. Hopefully we'll get the Cleric back, maybe the Smoldering Efreet, but I'm going to take Alesha who smiles at death, because she smiles at it so readily. Nabzan Sky Captain seems fine. I guess I could have taken Goreswine or like a relevant split land, but I like Abzan Captain. It does also go nicely with our Lightwalker. Yeah, Alesha who smiles at death is going to be dope. Look at her. She's smiling. And at death. What do we say to the god of death? Maybe. That's what Alesha says. Maybe you kill my guys, maybe you don't. I'm still here. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Let's see what else we can get. And a Sandstep Outcast. It's a shame we have to pass a Temur War Shaman. It's also good to know that there's a Winds of Calcisma here, so we can put that in the tank. But Sandstep Outcast, pretty great. Also works well with our buddy, the Ancestral Statue. Ancestral Statue. I guess I can take either Greyhorn Cruciak, Bloodfire Enforcer. I don't even know if I have any sorceries. I have an instant, and I have all instants. So then that's not that great. I'm just going to take this Hungering Yeti. Sometimes you need a 5-mana 4/4. It's not ideal, but it's something. Fierce Invocation is fine too, I guess. Just pick up some big dorks. Mid-range dorky dorks. Abzan Sky Captain is fine as well. That is a Cloud form. I'm regretting not moving in on black earlier. That would have been cool. But there's an Arishan Cleric, and I think that's fine. I mean, like, we still have some, like, high power stuff. We have, like, an Ouija... Like, we have, like, 2 or 3 good creatures, like, really good creatures, like Thunderbreak Regent, Alesha, and then Ouija Tai Exemplars. We've got a couple flyers, some 2-drops. Like, it's not ideal, certainly. I don't feel like, man, this is the best deck ever. Hashtag Wombo Combo. Hashtag 1v1 me, Fox, no items. But it's pretty decent. I enjoy it. I really like Sandstep Outcast. I've never gotten to play with Alesha before. I had 2 copies of Sarkhan's Rage and a Thunderbreak Regent in my sealed pool over the last weekend, and I enjoyed that thoroughly. Temur Battle Rage is actually what I'm going to want to take here. Or Smoldering Efreet. I think I'm going to take Battle Rage. It works really well with both Alesha, and it mostly works well with the Ouija Tai Exemplars and Thunderbreak Regent. And we get a Smoldering Efreet anyway. We're not looking to attack. We're not looking to block, I should say. I mean, Jeskai Barrier was certainly a consideration, but gotta get like aggressive 2-drops so I can get them back with Alesha. Sage's Reverie. That's alright, I'll take another Arishan Cleric. Actually, this is pretty sweet. 2 Bolster guys to make Lightwalker do stuff. I could probably cut Dragonloft Idol. I could Hate Draft Winds of Calcisma. I could take Abzan Advantage for the sideboard. That's certainly an option. I could just take this as a random 2-mana Bolster one. That's really crappy, though. Or the other option is just take a 3rd Cleric. If I take a 3rd Cleric, yeah, or I could take Abzan Runemark. I don't really like Abzan Runemark because I'm not running it, obviously. It'd be different if I had taken the Runeblade guys, the ones that get +2/+2 for X amount of stuff. I actually can take Collateral Damage. Collateral Damage in this deck doesn't seem terrible, because I use Collateral Damage and then just get him back with Alesha. Could be a thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be, but it could be. Take a Cunning Strike. Mardu Runemark, on the other hand, I will absolutely take. It's not great. It's certainly not like super playable, but if I need it, it's there. Sort of sad that I didn't actually take the Jeskai card that gets +2/+2 for each aura on it. Could have had a funny little aura deck. I will say the things that impressed me the most at the pre-release were how good Dash was if you had good Dash cards, and how bad Dash was if you had bad Dash cards, and then just how versatile Exploit was as a mechanic. Exploit, I don't think people recognize just how amazing that is. We have Fierce Invocation, we have a Mardu Runemark, Gleam of Authority, Temur Battle Rage, 2 Sarkhan's Furies though. That's pretty, or Sarkhan's Rage, it's pretty great. Center Soul helps us get in. So we have 21, 23, 24. I have to cut 1 card. I think I'm fine with that. Let's take a look at our good old-fashioned curvy curve. The good part about our curve is that we've got plenty of 2-drops. I really do think Gleam of Authority is going to be fun. I'm either going to get rid of this Mardu Runemark or maybe get rid of this Hungering Yeti. I think Hungering Yeti. My reason for getting rid of Hungering Yeti is, yes, Fierce Invocation is vulnerable then to Negate, which now is in the set. So, good to know. Good to put that in the tank. But Fierce Invocation gives us more upside. Like 9 times out of 10, we can probably get them to trade a creature with 4 toughness for a land. And also, more importantly, it allows us to have that potential upside. Sometimes you're going to flip up a land or like lose a sorcery, or sometimes we might actually be able to manifest Ouija Tai's Exemplars. And with 15 creatures in the deck, and only 7 non-creatures, or 8 non-creatures, including Fierce Invocation, there's a fair chance that we could manifest something. Even if it's just like a big Arishan cleric to give us a random life swing, I'm completely fine with that. And it looks like we're predominantly 12 and 11. I don't think that makes me comfortable enough to go 10 plains and then 7 mountains. So we're going to just go 9 plains, 8 mountains. I think that's going to be certainly a fine mana split. And we're going to call this bad boy. What do we call this bad boy? Jankwick, obviously. Jankwick it is. Sideboard, mountains. I always misspell the land, at least once. It really wouldn't be an episode of Draft Radio if I did not misspell the lands at least once. Got to put our sideboard in because, as we all know by now, sideboarding is super important. And I think that leaves us with a deck, ladies and gentlemen. All right, folks, with that underway, I will see all of you fine folks in round 1. Good luck and Godspeed.